hang in there with me as my video recorder doesn't seem to be working at its best condition once again. So I hope that you'll be listening along as I'm reading aloud from chapter 29 in First Samuel. So let me just get that book up here. I am. Oh, there it is. I knew I was on the right page, but I couldn't see it. I think I need to shed some light on the subject. There we go. It's a gray day here today. It's a bit of a wintry day. No snow this year in Seattle, but I was sitting out doing my daily Bible reading outside, which I do, and fairly early enough that the sun hadn't come up. So it was feeling very cold. It was a wintry day today for sure. The Philistines gathered all their forces at Aphek, and Israel camped by the spring in Jezreel. As the Philistine rulers marched with their units of hundreds and thousands, David and his men were marching at the rear with Achish. The commanders of the Philistines asked, "What about these Hebrews?" Achish replied, "Is this not David, who was an officer of Saul, king of Israel? He has already been with me for over a year. And from the day he left Saul until now, I have found no fault in him." But the Philistine commanders were angry with Achish and said, "Send the man back that he may return to the place you assigned him. He must not go with us into battle, or he will turn against us during the fighting. How better could he regain his master's favor than by taking the heads of our own men? Isn't this the David they sang about in their dances? Saul has slain his thousands, and David his tens of thousands." That's that David. So Achish called David and said to him, "Assuredly, as the Lord lives, you have been reliable." Right? In Ashish's eyes, he'd been reliable because he doesn't know exactly where he's gone out raiding. Somehow he has not heard that he is not on his side. But David is definitely pretending to be. "And I would be pleased to have you serve with me in the army. From the day you came to me until today, I have found no fault in you. But the rulers don't approve of you. Now turn back and go in peace. Do nothing to displease the Philistine rulers." "But what have I done?" asked David. David can ask this. He's asked this with a clear conscience before to Saul. "What have I done that you're coming against me?" Right? But this time he's kind of it's a little more conniving or something. "What have you found against your servant from the day I came to you until now? Why can't I go and fight against the enemies of my lord the king?" Wow. Achish answered, "I know that you have been as pleasing in my eyes as an angel of God. Nevertheless, the Philistine commanders have said," and everyone's afraid of the Philistines, uh, "he must not go up with us into battle. Now get up early, along with your master's servants who have come with you, and leave in the morning as soon as it is light." So David and his men got up early in the morning to go back to the land of the Philistines, and the Philistines went up to Jezreel. And that was a short and sweet part of the story. Well, I don't know, so sweet, but I mean, here we just kind of see this playing out of David's, you know, his, I guess we would call it, we just talked about this in church yesterday. When you're doing something different than what you were saying you're doing, it's hypocritical. He's being a hypocrite, right? So yeah, we're seeing him do that and calling Achish his Lord and King. Um, yeah, so we are. I am really anxious to see how things turn out. Of course, I know I've read this before, but reading Hero Read Aloud 3 is giving me time to pause and kind of piece things